All right, you're sitting in your seat.
I know. I was proud of it too. I'm like, look.
Your look, I'm here. Literally like 3 after the reactions in a row, you start to get up. To be fair, some of them are on purpose.
Also, what was this? Were you swimming?
I guess, yeah. I don't really know what I was doing, to be honest. I was just excited.
Before we get started, the pig's back.
The pig is back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we took the Christmas decoration down, and by Christmas decoration, I mean this one board that said, like, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it had our 2, like, small stockings with CNA. And you and I looked at each other, we're like, we have to bring this back every holidays. Like,
oh, yeah.
Even, like, we're gonna be changing locations in, like, a few months, not soon, but in a few months. And you and I already talked about, like, oh, we have to keep the same minimalistic decorations.
Yeah, definitely. That's just something that... It's just kind of funny to us. It's like our own weird little punk rock thing that we try to do.
It definitely started out of necessity. This is not like we always wanted a better set, but we're like, it's kind of fucking awesome. Like,
yeah. And now we're kind of just cool with it, you know?
Yeah. You know, like I mentioned, like you had like not bad or good, but you had like no expectations.
Yeah,
You didn't know what this movie was going to be. I kind of had the same feeling. I was excited that it was a Top Gun parody, and because people are aware that I'm a huge Top Gun fan, both of the original and the recent sequel, whenever I mention Top Gun or talk about it, everyone's like, have you seen Hot Shots? You would love it. You know? So it's like, finally, I've completed the circle.
Yeah. I didn't know until, like, right before we shot that this is directed by, what's his name? Jim Abrams? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is directed by him. So as soon as I saw that in the credits... And because I know he wrote it, I think ahead of time.
Yeah.
But as soon as his name came up as a director too, I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're in safe hands.
By the way, I feel like the way movies work, a lot of people who write movies, they write it ahead of time. That's kind of just... I always thought that's like how it worked, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not like the writer. You went to a screenwriting school.
I'm sorry, you guys. You know, he does this sometimes.
Well, yeah.
But okay, I'm going to look up his name real quick.
Okay, so the guy's name that he's looking up, obviously, is the guy that we just almost broke our stomachs laughing at. Like, I think it just stole the show. Every scene he was in, it was just killing it.
Lloyd Bridges.
Okay, so what else has he been in?
I mean, he was in Airplane. Let me look up his...
Does he have his filmography on, like, Wikipedia? Oh, right there. Go down.
Okay, right there, yeah.
Okay.
So...
Anything we've seen?
Dang, he goes all the way back to the 30s.
Go all the way down and then go up.
Go up, yeah, from the top.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of work. He was in Hot Shots 2.
Which is Hot Shots Part Duh. I love that title. Hot Shots Part Duh is one that I've been recommended too.
Yeah. Oh, he was in the second Airplane too.
Okay. Oh, he was in the first Airplane. Oh, we already knew that.
Yeah. Remember, it was a big bad time to quit smoking.
Yeah, he has... The first Airplane, the thing about it is that, like, he has amazing lines and he has amazing scenes, but so does, like, everyone else.
Yeah.
And Leslie Nielsen obviously has, like, a quote that's on the AFI most, like, memorable quotes or whatever. Yeah, I'm looking at the poster. The poster just popped up, like, on our TV for Hot Shots, and it's him holding a missile, and it says, "To Saddam with love, USA."
All right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I know. It reminded me, his role, Lloyd Bridges' role, it reminded me a little bit of the police chief dude from Police Academy. Remember how there was that one really weird, quirky, like...
Oh my god, was that him?
No. It wasn't played by him.
No, but I know what you're talking about. I just was like, oh my god, that's very similar.
Yeah, but this one, it was like way funnier though. Like almost every scene, both of us were like, couldn't breathe.
Yeah, because I think I kept saying this through the reaction. There was like 10 jokes in each scene.
Yeah.
Like, in each scene that he was in. Like, it was just stuffed. I'm thinking of my favorite ones. Obviously, there's the binoculars one that's really good. But every time he hit his head, it was funny to me. No. The best joke is when he's looking at a photograph. It's like,
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Look at them. They're all still. Roy. He's like yelling at him.
I'll send him a note.
Remind me to send him a note. He's having Francine write a letter to someone the next time you touch my wife.
I was scrolling through Instagram Reels, as you do, and there's a clip from some Frank Drebin scene, from...
Naked Gun.
From Naked Gun. So
the first Naked Gun.
It was either the first Naked Gun or it was from, Police Squad. I couldn't... I didn't remember if this was in the movie or not. but it was when Frank Drebin was telling his partner guy, I forget his name.
Okay.
But when he was saying, like, you know, what do you think they come around there for? He's like, sex, Frank? And he's like, no, thank you, not now. But like in the most like Leslie Nielsen way. Like,
there's another police academy. Like I think this is from the TV show. Someone shared it on Twitter.
A police squad.
Police squad.
Yeah.
Where someone asked Frank Drebin, Frank, how'd you get in here? He's like, I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith.
Oh, he said, who are you and how'd you get in here?
Yeah, I fucked it up. He's like, who are you and how'd you get in here? I'm a locksmith, and I'm a locksmith. Like, and he says it completely dry.
Bingo. He takes out the part of bingo. Sorry, I don't want this after the reaction to be just us listing the jokes, but like, goddamn, these movies are funny.
Yeah, I think these movies are extremely hard to pull off for many reasons. One is, for these type of movies to work, you gotta actually stuff them with jokes.
Yeah.
Like, every second has to be a joke. And that in itself, for it to work, is so hard. On top of that, what makes these movies great is that there's a level of craftsmanship put into it. It feels like a movie. And the reason I say that, and if you've heard me talk about comedies at all, you've always heard me say the same thing. Comedies nowadays are shot in the shittiest ways. The only recent comedy that I can think of that was shot well was Theater Camp.
Okay, which I haven't seen yet.
And, like, No Hard Feelings came out, which I thought was good, and it was a good return to the studio comedy. Looks shitty. It's shot very poorly. And sometimes I feel like nowadays comedies aren't treated as, like, with the same level of respect that movies should be treated as.
Yeah.
And when I watch these old movies that are old comedies, like the Mel Brooks stuff, the Abrams Zucker stuff, that's the first thing I noticed. How many times have you and I were watching this movie, we were like, oh my god, look at that stunt work.
Yeah, exactly. I think we go into a lot of detail about that during our Airplane podcast, so since you're on this channel, feel free to go check that out. It's an older episode, and that's like a lot of what we explore. But we do have a very strong affinity for these types of movies. I felt that way with Monty Python, too, with how much love they put into the animated sequences, too.
Yeah, and also, like, when you watch Monty Python, it feels like it was shot during that time, like the way they shot it, and also, like, the way, like, when you're making comedies for the big screen, or as like a movie in general, it's a visual medium.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people forget that, you know what I mean? But it is a visual medium. And so when you see like John Cryer's glasses have like little fishes because he's been crying so much, a prop department had to work hard to build something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And like the sizzling stomach with the bacon and eggs.
I know, dude. That part, I mean, you saw, I was like howling laughing.
Yeah, I honestly didn't expect both of us to be like convulsing like the way we did at certain points.
I know. Charlie Sheen was really funny in this too.
Really funny. I think what really works is that like he's especially during this time, he was like the handsome strapping lad, you know what I mean? And it was like he looked really good, and it was a perfect like I look like a movie star. And if I'm in, but I look like kind of like too handsome. And so that's why I kind of feel like it works where he's like playing into it. I honestly feel like that's why Cary Elwes works so well too. Because Cary Elwes looks like this smooth, good looking guy, but there's always a little bit of like, there's something up with him.
Yeah, he's a little cheeky.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen is hard to talk about, right? I mean, the guy's insane.
Yeah, no, he's completely.
It's safe to say I have no qualms about that.
Yeah.
It's funny. We're going to be doing Ferris Bueller soon. We're going to be doing a podcast on Ferris Bueller soon. Charlie Sheen has a very like important scene in there that it kind of like I feel like broke him a little bit, right? Like in terms of breaking him out, like that was a scene where it's just like, who the fuck is that guy?
That's true. Yeah, I didn't even think. I forget he's in that movie.
He became a big sitcom actor with John Cryer with 2.5 Men, but we forget that. I mean, he was like a movie star.
Yeah.
With like Wall Street. Remember Wall Street?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I know that one. Yeah.
Wall Street's a good movie. You know what's a bad movie? Wall Street Never Sleeps.
Is that the one with Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, it still has Michael Douglas in it.
Okay.
But it's Shia LaBeouf, and that's a bad one.
Is it bad? Yeah.
Hot Shots Part 2, from what I've heard, is a Rambo parody.
That's what I've seen when I typed in, because like I was going to make the Patreon post to announce it. I typed in like Hot Shots and was looking up GIFs or different things. And I'm apprehensive when we do these comedies, because when I look it up, I don't want to be spoiled on anything.
Yeah, of course.
But I saw a lot of Rambo imagery. And I remember thinking like, is this Dude, is there like a whole scene that's Rambo? But then once I looked through the posters, I saw the sequel was Rambo. So it's like, oh, those are just from the sequel.
Yeah, this is like, it's just probably just going to be focusing on one movie. I don't know, I don't even know if this movie was like a hit when it came out. I know it's a huge like classic among like, just comedies and everything. And what year did this movie come out? 91.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, look up like how much it made in the box office.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a huge hit. Budget was $26 million and made $181.1 million.
This is Wikipedia too, so maybe the numbers are not right, but goddamn.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, God, man. Why aren't comedies in theaters? What the fuck is wrong? Like, I say this all the time, but like, isn't it just like that's the one genre that and horror just makes sense?
It just spits out money.
It just makes sense. People want to laugh in a theater.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting better.
It's
getting better.
I hope so. I hope we get more. But it's just like, I truly don't understand it. Like, we always talk about horror and how like, the reason why horror movies still do well in theaters because that's a genre that's never going to die. Because like, teenagers are still going to want to go on a weekend to go see a horror movie because it's fun to see that with an audience. Comedies are like that too. When a comedy movie comes out in theaters, like when Theater Camp came out, everyone was like, I want to go see this. No Hard Feelings. I want to go see this.
Yeah.
Now, No Hard Feelings I know underperformed a little bit, but still better than I thought it would. And it kind of proved that it's like, yeah, people want to laugh together.
Yeah, there's a niche for it, People enjoy it.
I genuinely do not know why that stopped.
Like straight hardcore comedies, for sure. Because nowadays they're always like kind of hybrids or blends or things.
No, I want jokes. I want actual jokes, not like a dramedy. I don't want like an A24 dramedy. I want Judd Apatow shit. I want This Is the End. I want Superbad. I want like... give me funny people even. Give me something.
Sure.
Why do you think I like Adam Sandler so much? Because you know what he did for like years? Is
straight comedies. John Cryer, what's funny is he was in LA Noire for a little bit. That video game.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he do? What did he play?
A witness of some sort. I barely remember, but I've seen that little clip.
I can imagine him as a witness. Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is kind of a side tangent, but the whole cool, innovative technology that LA Noire had was they had a bunch of cameras set up around the actors, and while they recorded, their facial expressions were like exactly as they went. Because part of the gameplay of LA Noire is you're a detective and you have to study their, if they seem nervous or if they're lying.
Is this like really early 2000s?
It was like 2011 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So it was really innovative for the time. Nowadays, it's pretty casual.
Common?
Yeah. But at the time, that was like a lot. And you can see when their lips moved, it's exactly how they spoke. Okay. It looked really cool. But anyway, he's clearly in it because it's his face.
Right.
So it's kind of cool. Just a fun fact for listeners,
That's a game you've brought up a lot to me.
It's a cool game. I haven't played it in such a long time, but I do miss that game.
But it feels like it's a memorable one for you.
I beat that game probably like 3 or 4 times as a kid.
Interesting. Did you ever watch 2.5 Men?
No. I might have watched like one episode in screenwriting school, but I never sat down and watched it like on my own.
It was on TV a lot, so like, and it used to sometimes you'd go to the gym and it's just on.
That's true. Yeah, I want to say I've seen 2.5 Men on at the gym too.
yeah. It's just like it's playing all the time, and that's kind of how I watch it. Like if it was on at home and I had nothing else to watch, I'd put it on and I'd laugh every now and then. But it was never like a big show for me. I know it went on for a while and it had its admirers when it was on. I remember a specific moment where me and my couple of friends, we went like in one of those real like go-karting places that like genuine go-karting, not kiddie go-karting, but it's like you gotta wear a helmet and sign up and everything. And while we were waiting for our turn, on the TV, 2.5 Men were playing. And the audio wasn't there, it was just TV with subtitles, right? And we were watching it and we're like, is that fucking 2.5 Men? And this was 2 years ago. I'm like, 2.5 Men's playing the Charlie Sheen seasons? Like, what the fuck is going... Does anyone know?
The Charlie Sheen season. I forget he was replaced with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, I know. And there's a sequence where, like, one of Charlie Sheen... I barely caught the context of it. But, Charlie Sheen's character is a big player. He's ladies' man. And there's a girl that's kind of, like, passed out in his bed, and he doesn't know who she is, and he's trying to get her out of the house. So he asks John Cryer to help drag that girl out of the house. And me and my, like, friend were just like, yeah, this is why you don't play 2.5 Men in a fucking go-karting scene. The Charlie Sheen seasons?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not gonna say it's a shame because I wasn't a huge Charlie Sheen fan, but it's like it's kind of wild, man. 2.5 Men is such like a dated early 2000s sitcom, and Charlie Sheen is insane.
Like end rants, you know. Right. I know. I haven't seen Charlie Sheen in enough stuff to be honest. Like I said, I never watched 2.5 Men. I saw him in Scary Movie 3. That's about the only Charlie Sheen comedy I've ever seen besides this one now.
And Scary Movie 3 is when like the Abrams started like doing them, right?
I think I know Leslie Nielsen was in it. I want to say maybe one of them.
No, because I think it was Abrams because I think the Wayne brothers stopped after 2.
Yeah,
which is kind of just dope that they were just like, and that the first 2 are the best ones, and that's where they ended. But yeah, he's good. I mean, so Charlie Sheen's pretty good in Scary Movie 3, which makes me be like, oh, it makes sense why he's really good in these broad comedies.
He plays it so straight. He really fits with the Abrams sense of humor for sure.
Because you wouldn't be able to buy him as just like a regular action hero, like in a just straight movie like that. You need him to have a little bit of like sauce on the ball, you know what I mean?
I know, right? You know, Leslie Nielsen plays the president in Scary Movie 3. Did you know that?
I think so,
yeah. I mean, it fits perfectly. There's like a bit, I think this is on the 4th one, where he's at the United Nations and he's kind of confused in where he is. And he's like, so we're here at the so stupid. The UN.
Damn. Man, so I was going to say we haven't done a comedy like this in a while, but we literally just did History of the World, Part 2. Part 1. And I'm like thinking, I think this year we really want to start going back to doing a lot more comedies again. To be frank, like there was a while where we were like, have we run out? But there's still a good list of stuff we can do.
Yeah, no, I honestly, like I said, like I really enjoyed History of the World, but it did not make me laugh like this movie did.
Yeah,
which is surprising. I genuinely, like, if you took me back in time a couple months and said, which one do you think will make you laugh more?
I mean, the Spanish Inquisition was just like, I think that one really made me laugh a lot, but nothing that was like belly laugh like this. This was like it hurt my chest at some point.
Yeah, I know. So it was a really pleasant surprise.
But like, we haven't even talked about this fucking hour and 24 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
84 minute movie.
Yeah, we don't talk about it enough on the podcast or in I don't know, in other places. But we get kind of excited when we get to watch a short movie. Sometimes, like
for obvious reasons, because it gets tiring when you're doing like loud commentary for like. I mean, boo-hoo, we get to watch movies for a living. But, like, at the same time, it does get kind of tiring when you're going on for a while.
Yeah, and the edit, too.
The editing, yeah.
That's the biggest thing. At least it takes, like, an extra chunk of time to edit. Even if it's only, like, another half hour longer than the average movie length, it's, like, another couple days of editing sometimes.
100%. And so, like, when we saw this was an hour and 24 minutes, and we knew, like, we just shot a podcast earlier today, and we knew it was going to be a double shoot. We were like, oh, okay, cool. And it helped that it was funny as hell.
Yeah, it flew right by that time, so that's always nice.
Yeah, like, I'm a huge fan of long movies, but, like, I think we've lost the art of keeping movies tight as possible.
Yeah.
Especially, like, nowadays everything's either a mini-series, where it's just like, it's the reason why I can't watch all television, because everything's 45 minutes long, 8 episodes. I'm like, oh, what are we doing here? And I'm like, for a comedy, this is just the perfect length.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it was Judd Apatow, it'd be like 2.5.
I know, right, dude? His movies are beasts sometimes to watch.
But this was great. So thank you guys so much for joining us in this After the Reaction. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much to our patrons, as always, for supporting us. Last but not least, stay nice, dudes.